Good morning, everyone. My name is Dan Scripps, Chair of the Michigan Public Service Commission, and I call this meeting of the Commission to order on February 4, 2021 at 10:30 a.m. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Chair Scripps.
I am present and attending remotely from Leelanau County, Michigan.
Commissioner Phillips.
Present and attending from Ingham County, Michigan.
Commissioner Paratek.
I am present and attending remotely from Eaton County, Michigan.
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. We are holding this meeting remotely using Microsoft Live Event. It is compatible with all browsers except Safari. Telephone relay service is available through the phone option. If you are participating via the live stream, you may also turn on the live captions by clicking on the closed caption or CC button in the lower right corner of the screen. During this meeting, we will call out participant names before speaking to support those listening only by phone or using relay service. As indicated in the notice for today's meeting, if we lose connection, the Commission will be in recess. We will attempt to re-establish a connection, but if we are unable to do so within 30 minutes, we will adjourn. Decisions made prior to the disconnection will be binding and other business will be handled at a future meeting. We will not recess or adjourn due to technical issues experienced by individual members of the public. The meeting will be recorded and available for future reference on the Commission's website. In addition, the Commissioners can receive comment via mpsc_commissioners@michigan.gov. For reference, this email is also included in the Q&A feature on the live stream event on your computer and in the meeting notice. If you have intermittent internet service, you should consider listening to the meeting via telephone, not the computer. So if there is an interruption, you can avoid missing part of the meeting. Another option is to watch the meeting through your internet service with the sound muted and then listen to the audio from your phone. Please keep in mind the video feed has a slight delay while the telephone line is in real time. We will have an opportunity for the public to make comment as provided in the agenda. A few notes about this. Comments should be limited to one per person and can be made verbally by calling in or in writing via the live stream Q&A feature. If you are participating via Teams application, you can use the Q&A feature and type your comments in the box anytime during our meeting, and we will have those queued up to read. The Q&A function should be used to request technical assistance or to submit public comments directed to the Commission. If you would like to make verbal comments, you must call into the meeting by phone. To minimize disruptions, attendees will be muted until we reach the time for public comment. The first order of business today is approval of the agenda for today's meeting, and I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
Thank you, Chair. I move for the approval of the agenda for today's Commission meeting.
Commissioner Paratek?
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve today's agenda. Commissioner Phillips?
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek?
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote and the agenda is approved. The next item of business on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the January 21, 2021 Commission meeting. Commissioner Phillips?
Thank you, Chair. I move for the approval of the minutes from the January 21, 2021 Commission meeting.
Commissioner Paratek?
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the minutes from the January 21, 2021 Commission meeting. Commissioner Phillips?
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek?
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote. The Commission meeting minutes of January 21, 2021 are approved. The next item of business on the agenda is the approval of the orders on the consent agenda. And today the Commission is assisted by Staff Attorney Blair Renfro. Mr. Renfro.
Good morning. Today's consent agenda consists of 3 communications matters, 4 electric matters, and 1 gas matter. The proposed orders for these matters have been thoroughly vetted by the Commission's technical and legal staff and are ready for your approval.
Thank you, Mr. Renfro. I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
I move for the approval of the orders on today's consent agenda.
Commissioner Paratek?
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the orders on the consent agenda. Commissioner Phillips?
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek?
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by a unanimous vote. The orders on the consent agenda are approved. Mr. Renfro?
Item 4A1 is case number U-20602, which involves an application filed by DTE Electric Company requesting a 1-year extension of the time for implementation of its advanced customer pricing pilots. The order before you grants ex parte approval of the request.
Commissioner Phillips?
Thank you, Chair. I move for the approval of the order in case number U-20602.
Commissioner Paratek.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the order. Commissioner Phillips.
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek.
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by a unanimous vote. The order in case number U-20602 is approved. Mr. Renfro.
Item 4A2 is case number U-20645, which involves the establishment on the Commission's own motion of My Power Grid. The order before you sets dates for the filing of the second My Power Grid status report and the final My Power Grid report by the Commission staff, adopts a definition of the term pilot, and implements objective criteria for pilot program review.
Thank you, Mr. Renfro. I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-20645.
Commissioner Paratek.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion?
I have very brief comments to make, Chair, and thank you. I will make these short because we have discussed the My Power Grid Energy Programs and Technology Pilots work group on previous occasions before the Commission. But I once again like to thank staff and work group stakeholders for continuing to consistently engage and drive this particular effort forward over what has been a tumultuous year. In our newly minted 2020 to 2025 strategic plan, this organization has set forth a vision to be a best-in-class commission. And the next steps outlined in this order, the establishment of objective pilots criteria, a pilot reporting process, and a subsequent publicly available pilots repository. These are the types of staff and stakeholder-driven, forward-thinking regulatory processes that exemplify this best-in-class approach. So again, I would just like to thank all those who have and continue to contribute to this effort, and I really look forward to what's next. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Phillips. I appreciate your leadership on this, and again, as you noted, the contributions of Dr. Wong and the staff in bringing this to fruition. Is there any further discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the order. Commissioner Phillips.
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek.
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote. The order in case number U-20645 is approved. Mr. Renfro, back to you.
Item 4A3 is case number U-20838, which involves an ex parte application filed by Consumers Energy Company requesting approval of power purchase agreements. The order before you approves the application.
Thank you, Mr. Renfro. I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-20838.
Commissioner Paratek.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the order. Commissioner Phillips.
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek.
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by a unanimous vote. The order in case number U-20838 is approved. Mr. Renfro.
Item 4A4 is case number U-20923, which involves an application filed by DT Electric Company for ex parte authorization to amend the tariff language of rate schedule D1.8 to reduce the notification time of critical hours to comply with the Commission's February 20, 2020 order and case number U-20471. The order before you approves the application.
Thank you, Mr. Renfro. I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
Thank you, Chair. I move for the approval of the order in case number U-20923.
Commissioner Paratek.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the order. Commissioner Phillips.
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek.
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by a unanimous vote, and the order in case number U-20923 is approved. Mr. Renfro.
Item 4A5 is case number U-20942, which involves an application by Consumers Energy Company for ex parte approval of an amended and restated power purchase agreement. The order before you approves the amended and restated power purchase agreement.
Thank you, Mr. Renfro. Commissioner Phillips.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-20942.
Commissioner Paratek,
I second the motion.
is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the order. Commissioner Phillips,
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek.
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote. The order in case number U-20942 is approved. Mr. Renfro.
Item 4A6 is case number U-20949, which involves an ex parte application filed by Consumers Energy Company for authority to share a portion of the gain from the sale of certain transmission assets. The order before you approves the application.
Thank you, Mr. Renfro. I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
Thank you, Chair. I move for the approval of the order in case number U-20949.
Commissioner Paratek,
I second the motion.
is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the order. Commissioner Phillips.
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek.
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote. The order in case number U-20949 is approved. Mr. Renfro.
Item 4A7 is case number U-20960, which involves the establishment, on the Commission's own motion, of a collaborative to consider issues related to distributed energy resources, cost allocation, and rate design. The order before you establishes the collaborative, provides direction for the Commission staff and stakeholders, and sets the dates for the filing of the draft and final reports.
Thank you, Mr. Renfro. Commissioner Phillips.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-20960.
Commissioner Paratek.
I second the motion.
A brief note before we vote. The order before us lays out a process for a study on rate design options and best practices for distributed energy resources. Last fall, the Michigan Senate adopted a resolution, Senate Resolution 142, requesting that the Commission undertake such a study, and I want to express my appreciation to the Senate, and particularly to Senate Energy and Technology Committee Chairman Lowers, for their encouragement and partnership in this work. The Commission will be partnering with the Regulatory Assistance Project, an independent, nonpartisan, non-governmental organization dedicated to accelerating the transition to a clean, reliable, and efficient energy future on this study, with opportunities for input from stakeholders throughout the course of the study. The order includes a timeline to meet the Senate's requested deadline of having the final study completed by October 31st of this year, including a draft study to be publicly available for comment and feedback by September 1st. By diving into the many rate design issues involved in the ever-evolving area of distributed energy resources, I'm confident that this study will inform both the legislature's deliberations over distributed generation and whether to increase or eliminate the current cap on such resources, as well as the Commission's work in My Power Grid and helping to maximize the benefits of the ongoing energy transition. With that, any additional comments on this order? Very good. We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the order. Commissioner Phillips.
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek.
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by a unanimous vote, and the order in case number U-20960 is approved. We've now reached the time reserved for members of the public to address the Commission. Again, if you would like to make a comment and have access to the Teams live stream Q&A feature on your computer, please enter your name and your comment, which will then be read aloud to the Commissioners. This feature is available on the right-hand side of the control bar next to the mute button. As a reminder, the Q&A feature is intended for public comments directed to the Commission and not to engage with other participants or to respond to their comments. After taking any comments through this feature, we will open up the phone line for those who called into the meeting and would like to address the Commission verbally. If you want to be queued up for verbal comments, please enter your name in the live stream Q&A feature and indicate that you wish to make a verbal comment, but please do not include your written comment, as this will avoid duplication. I will first call on these names in the order received. After hearing from those individuals listed in the Q&A, we will ask if there are any comments from individuals who are on the phone but not utilizing the online Q&A feature. Please note that you can only make verbal comments by calling into the meeting. When it is your turn to speak, press *6 on your phone to unmute. As a reminder, this public comment period is for Commissioners to listen to comments and concerns and not to answer specific questions. When providing comment, please indicate your name and where you live if you are willing to share so that we have that for our records. And please limit comments to 1 per person and keep them brief, no longer than 3 minutes, so that we have a chance to hear from all who would like to comment. Ms. Cole, I believe you are again assisting the commissioners with this this work on the public comment period, and I'm wondering if there are any comments that have been entered into the Q&A feature.
Good morning, Chair Scripps. At this time, nothing has been entered into the live Q&A feature. There are no comments. There are no names queued up at this point.
Okay, very good. You've answered my next question as well. With that, I'll see if there's anybody on the phone who's interested in commenting. Again, *6 on your phone to unmute. Again, is there anybody on the phone who wishes to make a public comment at this time? You can do so by pressing *6 to unmute, and we'll take you in the order that we hear from you. I'll give it one more call to see if there's anybody struggling to get unmuted. Okay. Well, before we close, a few announcements. First, we have a number of open positions at the Commission that we're looking to fill. There are details on the position descriptions and how to apply on our website, michigan.gov/MPSC. And we encourage anyone who is interested to consider joining our talented and inclusive team of experts working in a fun, fast-paced environment and focus on maintaining the safety and reliability of our infrastructure and working on the cutting edge of energy and telecommunications issues. There are 2 positions for which the application window closes today, a Commission Advisor position in our Strategic Operations Division and an analyst position working on integrated resource plans and other cases in our Energy Resources Division. We also have 2 gas safety engineer positions that are open through Monday and 6 additional positions, including a gas safety manager, the manager of our communications section, an administrative law attorney, an electricity distribution specialist, a telecommunications analyst, and a rates analyst that were just posted and will be open through February 21st. Second, with the temperatures dropping over the next week, a reminder that assistance is available for those struggling to pay their energy bills. I encourage you to be proactive and contact your utility or propane provider to ask what kinds of protections, funding, flexible payment options, and energy savings tools and resources are available. You can also get help by calling 211 or going to mi211.org or apply for a home heating credit through the Michigan Department of the Treasury. All of this information and more is available on the Commission's website, again, michigan.gov/MPSC. Third, this month we're celebrating Black History Month, a time that we recognize the achievements of Black Americans in the past and present and highlight significant moments for those who have paved the way for all of us. For many of us, this year's Black History Month takes on added significance in the wake of widespread protests against racial injustice that took place across our country last year and remain ongoing, forcing all of us to more closely examine issues connected to implicit bias and systemic racism. Here at the Commission, our efforts in this regard have included launching a diversity, equity, and inclusion initiative that is helping to develop strategies to make us both a better place to work and also better at our work. We'll also be highlighting the contributions of our Black colleagues, both past and present, on our social media channels all month, and I invite you to join us in celebrating Black History Month and the many contributions of Black Americans throughout the month of February, and indeed, every day. And finally, today at noon, the Michigan Senate's Advice and Consent Committee is meeting to consider the appointment of Commissioner Paratek, and I want to close out today's meeting by wishing her well in the hearing. Good luck, Commissioner. Any other comments from Commissioner Paratek or Commissioner Phillips?
I also would just like to say that I wish Commissioner Paratek good luck this afternoon. I also would just like to pay homage and respect to all of the persons of color who have held this role in the past and who have helped really to pave the way for me to have this opportunity here today. And I thank you, Chair, and to our staff for continuing to genuinely and seriously consider the impacts of systemic racism and how the Commission can play an earnest effort and role in righting many of this country's most significant wrongs. So thank you very much, and I look forward to the hearing later this afternoon.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. Yeah, I second all of those sentiments as well, and thank you for the well wishes.
Well, that concludes today's meeting. The next regular Commission meeting is scheduled for Thursday, February 18th, 2021 at 1:30 p.m. Is there a motion to adjourn, Commissioner Phillips?
I move to adjourn today's Commission meeting.
Okay. Commissioner Paratek.
I second the motion.
We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to adjourn the meeting. Commissioner Phillips,
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek.
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.